I smell a red-skinned songbird from New York City, a Moor songbird. You're looking at some of the members of the Holy Royal family. I'll introduce you to them. This is Evangeline Einstein, my red songbird. This is Bloggjng. She's selecting him. He's agreeing. See that smile? The woman makes the selection, girls. This is when I was the Virgin Queen, the first, Elizabeth I of England. This is when I was Dr. Sigmund Freud. This is when I was Dr. Fritz Perls, a German psychiatrist. This is when I was Socrates, a Greek philosopher. This is when I was Dr. Albert Einstein, still am. This is Tony Robbins, when he was Tony Robbins, and he wrote a book, Money, Master the Game. He was Abraham Lincoln. He was my husband when I was Mary Todd Lincoln. This is when I was Dr. Albert Scheitzer. He started a hospital in Africa, gave up everything, and went to Africa to help the Africans. There he is. He was a humanitarian. When I heard of him as a child, I was absolutely astonished. He blew my mind. Gave up all of his creature comforts. He was a theologian, a musician, and a doctor. He had a great life. I was Mrs. Santa Claus. I was a tiger. Here I am at the Women's Homeless Shelter, 350 Lafayette, getting ready to go to church, I believe. Or else we're getting ready to go to see the Blue Men group. They were amazing. They come out of MIT and Harvard. Okay, this is Chief Sitting Bull, my great-grandmother, who wore hair in plaits. Then my mother plaited our hair. She French braided our hair. And then when Edwin Birdsong read my P, he said he wanted his hair plaited. So he picked that up out of my background, so I plaited his hair. So when his first album came out, he looked unique. And then other people picked up on it and made it an art form. So black people wear their hair. And as an art form, began by my mother, Jaimal Singh, known as today Gurinder Singh. This is Ostara Gloria, my great-grandmother. She was Sally Kendricks, who introduced me to astrology and homemade ice cream and candy in the apron pocket. She was Kabir the Saint. This was she was Sitting Bull, Chief Sitting Bull. So she actually started the hair plaiting tradition of black people. She's now not in my life, and I'm very sad. I want to get money so I can get her in my life. This is when I was Tesla, the inventor, who never got paid for his inventions, died destitute. One thing he created was a radio. This is one of the books, I think it's the first book I sold, How to Have a Fun and Exciting Life Starting from Scratch. That's my daughter Robin Birdsong. That's His Royal Highness Crown Prince Guillaume of Luxembourg. That's me, Einstein Evangeline. That's my cousin, Lieutenant General John Hopper, now retired, shaking hands with President Clinton. This is when I was an airline stewardess for American Airlines. This is my daughter Robin's work. You are you. Now, isn't that pleasant? Dr. Seuss. She was Dr. Seuss. We created a children's book together, Michelle Birdsong and Robin Birdsong, called Sneasy the Greasy Babysits Abigail. I was Pran Sharma Kumar, the Disney of India, and I created this character Sneasy. It's illustrated by T.J. Rob Shaw, and the story is created in rhyme by Robin Birdsong. It's great. Check it out. It's on Amazon.com. It's just masterful. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Springs coming out of the couch. There's so many wonderful artistic details in this book. You and your children can spend all day just looking at all the magnificent drawings TJ has put there for you. These are some of the books I've written that are on Amazon. Thank God for this book. It's the name of one of the books. Book 2, The Personalized Bible of Now and Then. Adam and Eve. This book 3, The Personalized Bible of Now and Then. This is a song by Joe Ray LaMontagne called Saved by a Woman. I was saved by a woman. She won't let me go. She won't let me go. You gotta hear that song. It's great. It's so original, so sincere sounding. This is called Atlas Shrugged, book by Ayn Rand, When I Was Ayn Rand. That's called The Wisdom of the Bloggjng Grandma. And I think my grandchildren are on this cover, but I can't hardly see them. Okay, these were some of the people whose energies I was. Socrates, Eve, first woman, Evangeline, angel line of angels. Einstein, Ayn Rand, Atlas, who wrote Atlas Shrugged. William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, who is Emily Dickinson. She was a poet who stayed home and wrote all the time. That's what I do. Robert Frost, also a writer. Emerson, another writer. Marcus Aurelius, leader, a ruler. Mrs. Santa Claus, Charan Singh G, Mrs. George Washington, Glenn Beck was George Washington, Mrs. John Adams, Mark Levin was John Adams, and Mrs. Thomas Jefferson, that was Hannity, Sean Hannity, Mrs. James Madison, Mrs. Booker T. Washington was Lionel Richie, Mrs. Abraham Lincoln, Tony Robbins, Mrs. Carl Jung, Jordan Peterson, sister of Jordan Peterson and Jesse Lee Peterson. St. Peter was our father. Newsmax TV. Who else? John Douglas MacArthur was also St. Peter. Was also John Hopper. Him. He was St. Peter, he was John Douglas MacArthur, and it's John D. Hopper. Who else? Let's see. Fighter pilot was here on his something. Oh, Hopper was a fighter pilot, a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, in Operation Desert Storm. I was the daughter of Moses, who's Joel Osteen, daughter-in-law of Noah, King David, who was Pastor James David Manning. Bathsheba is his wife, Elizabeth Manning. Whew. It's hard holding that up. This is the Madonna and the baby I'm expecting. twins, immaculately conceived, put there by Gurinder Singh, the head of the world. This is that from Birdsong album, What It Is. I helped to make it so much I thought my picture should be on there. What It Is. I wrote the lyric. This is my daughter, Melanie Spear, she was, let's see, Christopher Columbus, St. Patrick, the patron saint of the poor, Eva Braun, Vincent van Gogh. But that's Christopher Columbus. That's St. Patrick. And this is Ostara Gloria. Ostara Gloria. Kabir. Sitting Bull. Sally Ride, the first female astronaut. There's a shamrock for good luck. This is the album Roy Ayers Stone Soul Picnic. That's me. That's Edwin. This is the album What is Supernatural, which is the album that came after What It Is. The second album. I decorated his clothes. I did his hair. That's my mother's bracelet that he put 3 beads on and made it his own. This is Thump, the first 100 Days by Timothy and Mark Pellegrini and Brett Smith. It's about President Trump. It's a good book for children. Here's some books. Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Living, Equilibrium of Love, about how to create a heaven on earth. It's all the physical diagrams of the heaven on earth in India that Gurinder Singh created, and the other 5 Radhaswami masters. This is Robin Birdsong, to be the first black queen of England. She was Queen Victoria. She was the Empress of India. This is Earl Percy, who was Indiana Jones, who was Albert, Prince Consort, Queen Victoria's husband. Okay, and there's a bigger picture of the Starting from Scratch book I told you about. Okay? This is video Sneasy. That's Fallon. And this is Gurinder, my granddaughter, and that's Gurinder. Abigail is also Gurinder. Okay, check out the video Sneasy on YouTube. It's the finest family video on YouTube. This is King Arthur, Goliath. This is David defeating Goliath. David was Pastor James David Manning, who was my father-in-law. Okay, so there it is. I didn't think I'd get through it. It seemed like so many pictures to talk about. Okay, so this is the Holy Royal family members, some of them. Check it out. And I'm going to publish this as a book. And also this film, this video, will be on YouTube. Okay, so it's Mild Redskin Songbird, Amour Songbird, coming to you from New York City. Don't forget to buy the book, Sneasy, the Greasy, Babysits, Abigail. You won't regret it.